Happy New Year, everybody. Holy smokes, January is flying by. So this is my new calendar, a new day dawning. I need to have it so it sits up so that way I can see what it says, but a beautiful wintry scene for January. Today is the 18th. Holy smokes. This month is flying by. It's been a good month. It's been a rough month. It's been everything that you expect for January. And the one thing that I'm sad about is I haven't really been able to enjoy everything that January has to offer. But there's still 2 full weeks left, and that is my priority. If you are new to my channel, you know that I love brain dumps, and I thought I'd give you guys a quick brain dump before we get into this video. My coloring stuff is here. I spent some time this week making lots of brain dumps of goals and personal things and YouTube stuff. And then this morning I just did a brain dump of like the goals and everything kind of associated with food and kitchen. And then we'll keep that on topic today for my channel. But just to give you an overview of everything, I have planners here that I'm trying to figure out. We still have this tree up in the corner for January. We do have snow, and I have everything decorated for blue. We have toys everywhere because, excuse me, I had a tickle in my throat. When Linus gets excited, he brings the toy and carries it, so I need to sort through all of his toys and then have a little bin. He knows I'm talking about him. He needs a grooming. His hair is very long, so he's having that within the next 2 weeks. All of my nice blue items. Hunter got in trouble and Daddy sent him to bed, and he's actually staying there. Very simple. I did put the new blanket on here. I do like it. I'm very happy with it compared to the one that I had on there before. Hunter does not like a made bed. I have a bunch of mail to sort through on top of that, and my floors need to be swept and vacuumed, and my little shadow is following me around. I have laundry that needs to go upstairs. There's a lamb chop. Hunter has been getting into the backpacks, thinking that there's food in them, even though there's not, so we gotta figure out a new situation for that. He hasn't ruined anything yet, but there's a possibility that he could, so we need to figure that out. And this is what my kitchen looks like on a Saturday morning. Andrew has a bit of a head cold, so he was home yesterday, and today we're just kind of going with the flow. We slept in, well, he slept in until 7:45, which is very unnormal, so our whole morning has been off. So it is now 9:45. My husband just left to go do all of his errands and everything today, and now I'm trying to regroup. I took out spaghetti sauce for dinner tonight. I have butter, I have flour, I have dishes from breakfast. We had Brinner last night, and I cooked bacon, and my pan was a hot mess. And I got some new pans to work on my bread. So I got this like Mon Fish corrugated loaf pan with cover. This is it here. So I experimented with it last night, and I took the dough that I used before in my bread, and I made a loaf. Didn't turn out the way that I thought, but it takes time to figure everything out. And then I also got a silicone hamburger bun kind of holder. So I took my bread recipe, I cut it in half and did the loaf of bread and then the buns. I didn't have as much success with this, so we ate the buns for breakfast. I just cut them in half and put them in the air fryer, so that's what we're going to do with this for now. So tonight I might even just make some garlic bread with it. I don't really know. I'm still trying to figure it out. So anyways, that's what's going on. It's 9:45. I'd like to have everything done by noon that I want to do to share with all of you, so that way I can edit and have it up for you to watch on hopefully Sunday morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave all of this right now, and I'm going to go upstairs, make all the beds. I'm opening the windows up today because today is a milder day, and then we're supposed to get really, really cold weather for the next week. We're supposed to be getting part of the polar vortex. So I want to open up all of the bedroom windows and get the fresh air in so we can get all of that sick, gross air kind of out and hopefully get some nice fresh air out the upstairs and everything and feel a lot better. Right, Linus? Should we go upstairs? Let's go upstairs. Yes. I know that you're gonna follow me, so I'll check back with all of you once I am dressed. So officially, hello. One of my goals for 2025 is to perfect the messy bun, and whenever I do like my hair natural and let it be wavy, it's nice and thick and I get more of like a nice kind of full bun. But today I just kind of threw it up, so I just wanted to check in with all of you. And you know, it's 2025, it's a new year, but I don't necessarily feel that January for myself is a new year, new me. I am not somebody for New Year's resolutions. Every year January would start and it was gonna be the year that I was gonna lose weight. And you know, it's January 1st, I have to start eating healthy and doing all of this, and then, you know, a week or two in, like, you'd be so disappointed that you couldn't do it, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And then January would just turn into a really crappy, blue, depressing month. And I think a lot of it was New Year's resolutions. And since I've let go of that mentality, I enjoy January so much more. And I've come to realize that the new year for me is September. I've always gone by the Andrew's very happy. He's just having his own time. So if you hear him, that's why. I've always gone by the academic year since I was 3.5 years old when I started junior kindergarten to having children, and now, you know, the changing of the seasons. And I really feel in my heart, in my gut, in my mind, September for me is the new year, new me, fresh start, because I live where we have summer, spring, fall, winter. Like, we have 4 seasons. Sometimes we have them all in one day, but you know, September we're starting to prepare for fall. We're changing out our, you know, clothing. We're starting to, you know, get ready for the burr months, letting go of the barbecue, you know, starting to get different foods for the colder months, and then changing out the decor. So I really feel like September for me is that fresh start. And I just had a big conversation with my husband because he called me in between what he's doing, and I just said to him about like some of the goals and everything. And the biggest thing is we want to do our kitchen over. And then I was doing the laundry, and then I had a game plan and something else, and then I shared it with him, and he was like, yeah, you know. So I think it's one of those things with being a military family. For years and years and years, our focus was my husband's career, because he traveled a lot, and then he got posted just by himself so the kids could stay here. Most importantly for our son, with his, you know, he has autism, and then with the schooling and the services and everything else in the community, we didn't want to lose any of that. And then when my husband retired, went back to school, changed out his careers, he's gotten his focus. And I feel like, you know, during the pandemic and all of the changes with my husband, my son, my mother with dementia, and then our daughter becoming an adult and starting her own life and all of that, I think I started in 2024 where I was really kind of focusing a little bit more on me and trying to go from there. And I think I learned a lot in 2024, from my mental health to my physical health. And I think from now until September, I'm trying to pull it all together, so that way in September I'm in a much better place for those burr months. And I think the biggest thing is just sharing that journey with all of you, just in little videos here and there, and go with a fresh start in September for the burr months. I think it would be a lot easier to get into an easier routine with certain uploads and what I want my channel and my own life journey to look like. So that's what we're gonna do. So January was kind of crappy with being sick, but the one thing that my goal was for January is to use what we have from the freezer and the pantry, finish some things up from Christmas, and then just buy only what we need. And we've been doing that. And the past 2 days, my freezer is very well organized. I need to get some new items. So I thought we'd take a little peek at the freezer and then talk a little bit about what the goal is for the rest of January going into February, and you can all follow along to either do some changes with me, watch my journey, support me, and also give me a little bit of feedback and guidance from your own life experiences. And I think that's the biggest thing for a peek inside, is I want this to be a community for women of all different ages, backgrounds, lifestyles, and everything. And I think the goal is to be positive and encouraging and support each other. I think that's a really good thing. I think the world needs more of that. So let's go take a look at the freezers. Sorry, the washing machine is going, but I do have a 4-part food organization series that I did last year that kind of gives you the starting point. So in our kitchen freezer, I love this freezer. I have it pretty much set up the way that I like it. Popsicles go here. Whenever our son gets ice cream treats, they go here. My yeast is here, and we actually have ice cream. It's something we have every once in a while, and I think that's what's good for this drawer up here. And then our ice. I love to have ice that's made, and I love the ice bucket. It does take up a lot of room, but we are always thankful to have it. Now down here, I have it kind of sorted where I have some convenience foods. I have a big bag of meatballs from Costco that I will not be purchasing again. It takes up too much room, and I just think I can make better meatballs myself and have them frozen for the convenience. I do really like these chicken breast chunks from Costco. So I think when I go to do my Costco shop, is getting a bag of these and then a bag of the sweet potato fries, because I really do like them. And then I have a package of egg rolls. And then when I went to Food Basics, they had these little bag of pierogies on for $1. So I grabbed 2. So I think really what my goal is on this side here is just to have those kind of prepackaged convenience foods. I don't want a lot, but I still feel that they're a necessity in the busyness of everyday life. Now on this side, I have a package of brioche buns. I have some bread from what I made last week, so I put it in here. So I could use this for croutons or breadcrumbs, and that's my goal, is to do more from scratch. And then I went out and bought some frozen vegetables, so I'm trying to figure out like what is my go-to that I buy all the time. So right now I have kale, spinach, peas, and corn. I wanted broccoli, but they didn't have it. And then I have some cranberries and strawberries from the summer. So I'm going to be doing some baking and making some stuff for those, whether it be a fruit crisp, some muffins, or also some breakfast bars. So that is what this freezer looks like. And this is the white fridge in the garage that is now like a drink fridge. We have pictures on here from when my husband was overseas. Our boy Charlie, the kids when they were little, kids like Valentine things I sent to my husband. And then like whenever the pandemic was going on, my husband got like the iFit. So these are all the challenges that he did. And then this was a picture that broke. But up here is our freezer that is not going to be working in the next couple of days because it's going to be very, very cold. It does work in the summertime, which is really great, but I use it over Christmas for our baking. It needs to be cleaned, and I have cranberry bliss bars in here right now, so nothing is really going in here right now. I do have like a water pocket in here from HelloFresh, and it's fully frozen, but I don't keep meat or anything in here, but baked goods kind of keep in here during these months. So I am going to be doing some muffins and all of that over the next little while, so I might kind of check to see how they freeze here and if they don't spoil. So anyways, that is what this freezer looks like. We don't use it during the winter, but we do use it in the summer. And then our deep freeze of I don't know how many years quit, and we lost everything, and it was just a hot mess trying to fit everything into those 2 freezers. And then we decided to get this Danby one from Costco. It's a convertible refrigerator freezer, so we could use it as a freezer if we wanted to. And most importantly, it is garage ready. We never heard about this term until we started looking, and it keeps everything frozen with our garage. Our garage is insulated, but it is not heated, so this has been great. The only problem is it opens on this side, so I asked my husband this morning, eventually, can we switch it over, because I'd like it to open this side. It would be a lot more convenient. So I have this fully organized. I have ice packets up here for whenever we need them. These two shelves are going to be my freezer cooking. So I have spaghetti sauce and then the minestrone soup. My goal for freezer cooking is to just take what I make. So if I go to make spaghetti sauce, I make a bigger batch. If I make chili, making a bigger batch. I find it's a lot more ground beef. So that is my goal, is to have like some kind of freezer meals. Maybe one, maybe two, but the nice thing about this too is it would fit a turkey. So it's always nice to have a little bit of wiggle room in your freezers, and I feel like that's what these two shelves are. And then the 3 drawers, this is chicken, this is beef, and then this is pork. So it's all fully organized, and now I can finally get to that point. What do I need to purchase? How much can I purchase? And what does it all hold? So I still need to clean up some things, but I definitely need to get some ground beef. I'd like to get some pork tenderloin, and I would also like to get some skinless, boneless chicken thighs. For January, my husband and I have kind of made a little bit of a challenge to each other. He is not to buy any new shoes, and I am not to buy any new pads of paper. So I bought this a few years ago. I think I bought 2 of them at Winners because I thought it was really good for like a daily planner. It has like your agenda here, your tracker, your reminders, to-dos, and tomorrow, but it just didn't work. But I love the size of it, so I flipped it over. Actually, I'm gonna get my freezer inventory to share it with all of you. So what I did in the beginning of January was I took everything that was in the kitchen freezer and the garage freezer and just wrote it out. I do have a little book that you would have seen in the other videos, but I don't know if I'm gonna need it. I would like to try and keep it on like a piece of paper and just kind of update it here and there and try and come up with a master list, so that way I can just kind of like photocopy it over and over, and then that way when everything is fully stocked, so say when I buy ground beef, I buy 6 of them, you know, if I buy pork tenderloins, I buy like 4 of them or something. So I'd like to get like a master freezer inventory and then just kind of go from there. So it's kind of goals, but then just kind of working with what I have too. So anyways, I kept using everything that I have, and then I found it was a lot more easier to manage. So what I did was, like a couple of days ago, I took everything that was in this freezer, like there was some chicken and pork and all of that, and I put it all out in the other freezer. So then I came up with like this master kind of inventory. So freezer cooking on those 2 shelves, what I have for chicken, what I have for beef, what I have for pork. And then in the kitchen, like the top is like the yeast, the popsicles, the ice tray, and then to the left, that's what I want, is to kind of have like the convenience items. And then to the right, I would like to have like frozen fruit and then maybe bread products. I'm trying not to have a lot of bread products, but there is some things that I like to have. So I think the goal is in the kitchen freezer, not needing an inventory, but having like a certain setup. So the goal is for needs, I definitely need ground beef. I would like to get some stew meat. Now in the summertime, I wouldn't need stew meat, I would need steaks. So that would kind of change out. I would like to have some chicken thighs and then a pork loin roast and some pork tenderloin. And then I could also buy the pork loin roast on sale or get it at Costco and then make a roast and then also make my own pork chops. So I'm gonna figure everything out. And then the goal is for freezer meals, it's no more like a full day of cooking. It's exactly what I said, making something to eat, making a bigger batch and freezing that. So on a night when I don't feel like cooking, I have something that is homemade. I like freezer meals to be something that's already cooked. So that way all I have to do is heat it up. So for example, the minestrone soup, if I don't have any bread to go along with it, I can cook some pasta and then put the pasta in the bowl, heat up the soup and add it. So that way I don't have like soggy pasta in the soup. So that will go on the fridge. And then this is the goals for 2025 for the kitchen. So I want to have a Costco master list and do it like maybe once a month. And then 2 weeks later, do the once a month Walmart pickup. So that way my Walmart would be once a month, and then my Costco would be once a month, but then I would alternate every 2 weeks, and then in between get whatever the produce and like any other sales that I feel is worth stocking up. So I would really be doing like kind of like 2 bigger shops and then little shops. And then from scratch, my goal is to make more bread, trying to perfect that recipe. I like to make more buns. So I did get the silicone for hamburger, and then I remember on social media I saw that there's like a hot dog bun pan. I'm all for that. I want to make stuff from scratch, but if I can simplify it, that's my goal. I want to make my own bagels and English muffins. I don't want to do sourdough. I thought about it. I just don't feel like it's a fit for me. Muffins, I have perfected muffin recipes. I would like to make scones, cookies, just some different kinds, like some breakfast cookies too, that is more natural with less sugar, but they could also pass for like breakfast with like yogurt and fruit. Granola bars, I like to make my own granola. And I'd also like to try making my own yogurt. So in the summertime, like homemade granola yogurt and then all of the fresh berries and peaches that are in season for breakfast sounds delicious. And I thought about, could I possibly make my own butter for homemade bread? I think you use heavy cream. So using my KitchenAid mixer just to make butter for the bread, to butter it. And then with the buttermilk, I can make like my homemade pancakes. So it's just having a goal. This ain't gonna happen in January. It's gonna take me until September to figure it all out, but I think it's really good, and then take advantage of the seasonal produce. So when it comes to the organization, the fridge and freezer, I pretty much have those perfect now. So now the next thing is going to be moving on to like our pantry and then our extra closet and then in the garage, and that's all like the paper products and household items. So I'm working on all of that. And then the kitchen, the goal is to remodel it this year. So it's going to be decluttering it, doing the remodel update, less is more, really figuring out what we need and getting rid of all of those items, getting the quotes. And then I think it would be a lot easier to do it over the summer, because that way we could barbecue, have fresh produce. I have like a little propane stove, so if I had to like make something on that, I could do it outside, and then using paper plates and then composting them, and then having like an outside kitchen, you know, doing everything outside. And then we could have our coffee on the hutch in the mornings. I think that would really work. And then as I was getting ready this morning, I was thinking that would be a really great time to do HelloFresh too, because they do have some easy meals and I could cook everything outside, and then all of the ingredients come with it. And then as I was doing, putting my laundry in, when we updated our main floor, we didn't update our laundry, so it's not painted, it's behind like a curtain. So I just said to my husband, like, we could paint it, update it, and then have it open concept, and then have cupboards over top that would match our kitchen. So then, you know, as we're doing that, we have the fridge and the freezer in the garage while it's being renovated. And then the goal would be to have our kitchen ready for the burr months, so September to December. So I think that's really good. And then Costco, like having that master Costco list, what do we get at Walmart, and then like the meats, like where can I buy certain things. So I have a certain ground beef that I like. I don't get it for sale. It's a grass-fed. I really like it. And then stewed beef, steak, roast, pork chops, and all of that. And then figuring out like my meat and sourcing, having better sources, and also supporting local when I can, and not necessarily always waiting for sales. So anyways, these are the goals for 2025. So then what I do is I just put it on our fridge. I don't know if this is marking it all up, if there's a plastic coating, I don't know. This is what we need, so I haven't even pointed it out to my husband, but you know, we want things to be pretty, but we still use them. So anyways, here's my freezer inventory. It's really easy to use, and then I think eventually, like, if you've watched me for a while, you know I like to do like a list of like ideas for dinners, and that way once I get it out on paper, like it's kind of like still in my head, but then I can quickly look. So for like this week, maybe I'll do it and share it with all of you. And then I'm trying to keep like food coupons underneath here, so if there's a night where I don't feel like cooking or we're going out for lunch, what can we use for coupons to, you know, save a little bit of money but still also get to enjoy something. Because holy smokes, like, 2 can dine for $20. It used to be 2 can dine for $10, but if you don't have the coupon, honestly, 2 can dine, it's $30 now. So we don't want to eat out a lot, but we still like to do it. So I want to take advantage of all of that. So I do know that there's some food coupons in the mail, and I need to sort through all of that. So anyways, that's my little update. I know it's a long one, but it is the truth. It is the reality. I shared with you what my house looks like. You know, during the 4 years of 2020 to 2024, there was a lot of life changes for myself, and I think the hardest one for me was my mom getting dementia. And during that, we've lost like family and friends and everything, and for me, grief was always like, we lose our loved ones, that's part of life. You know, we can't talk to them, we can't deal with unresolved issues and all of that. And then when my mom started to change and I was losing my mom in front of my eyes, and my mom is still here, but she's a different kind of mom, and I think during all of that, I just really went through a lot, and I hit my rock bottom mentally, and I'm an emotional eater. I gained a lot of weight, my house fell apart, and I've been trying to dig back ever since. I have nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed about because I'm trying to be better. But during everything, I did everything I could to be the best, most importantly, mother, daughter, wife, and then all of the other hats. That is my priority. Is right now, the biggest important thing in my life right now is my son, because he does have disabilities. Then my mother, because she lives in a place where people oversee like her day-to-day care, and I'm there to advocate for her and make sure that everything is needed to be taken care of. I still get to be a little bit of a daughter and enjoy our time together. Then my husband is third, and then everything else comes after that. But I think the biggest thing that I forgot that I needed to do was to make myself a priority. Sorry. Because when you don't take care of yourself, you can't be the best for everybody else. So I think the first thing is I have to make sure that I take care of myself. And when I take care of myself, it makes me better for everybody else. So sorry about that. But I know there's probably a lot of women out there that can relate. So sorry. But anyways, let's get back to reality. This video will be very easy to edit and get it all uploaded for you, but I think it's a really good starting point of 2025. And I can't wait to enjoy the rest of January and just take it easy. It's gonna be cold, so now I can have like those cold days where I'm cooking and doing all of that. And the biggest thing I want to do when it's minus 26 degrees out, I want to get out for a walk and cleanse my body and get all of that cold, fresh air in my system. And I think it's a really good natural remedy, fingers crossed. So anyways, I think that's what's going on for the rest of today and tomorrow. I'm going to be using bread. I'm going to be doing freezer meals. I'm going to be making a bigger meal. So I think the next video you will see will just be kind of food from my kitchen. And then I'll see what videos do really good, what you like, what concepts. And I think from now until the end of August, it's to get a better idea. And then we'll start all over again in September with the Burr months, kind of like how I did last year with more of a schedule. So anyways, once again, thank you all for your patience, your kind words, your compassion, your understanding. And like I said, I'm wishing everybody all of the best in 2025 with lots of health and happiness. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you soon with a video from my kitchen. And hopefully by this time next year, I will have the kitchen of my dreams with a little bit of changes, but keeping pretty much the same layout. I don't want to go crazy over the top, but that will be for us to figure out. So I'll share a little bit of the journey, but not too much, because once again, YouTube is just kind of doing the things that I feel is the right balance in life of what to share and what not to share, but mostly focusing on my journey as a woman that I started in 2024. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all soon.